Hello and welcome back to the YouTube channel for Catch. My name is Sam and I'm the founder and lead coach here at Catch. Unshakable confidence is the key to getting everything that you want in life and dating. So on this channel we talk about everything to do with confidence, mindset and how to utilise that in all areas of life, but with a particular focus and passion on dating and relationships. If you want to work with us in any way, all of that information is in the description box below, and we are running a giveaway competition at the moment based on building a movement around confidence. So check that out, there's some really good prizes that you can win and it's free to enter. So today we're going to be talking about what to do if someone isn't texting you back or is being very hot and cold in terms of messaging, or you're feeling them pulling away. And I know that that can be a really difficult time, especially for people who are more nervous in dating, more anxious, or have been hurt in the past. I think it's natural to some extent to analyse text messages as an indicator as to how much someone is interested in you and how likely it is to move forward. However, people have different approaches to texting. Some people have different work phones, some people like to have good boundaries with their phone, some people don't like to text and just like to meet up. And also there's so much advice out there about playing hard to get that I actually think it's really difficult to know from texting how interested someone is. And often we assume that someone will act a certain way if they like us, either based on how we would approach a situation or based on online generic dating advice that tells us if they really liked us, this is how they would act. And we did do another video recently called Behaviour Doesn't Always Equal Feelings, where we deep dive into this, so I'll link that in the description box below. So the first thing to remind you of is that it's normal to an extent to overanalyze text messages and try to understand how someone feels based on text messages. But we would warn against that because usually if you're feeling insecure, it exacerbates those feelings and plays into them. And also texting is the least intimate form of communication, so it's easy to make assumptions or misassumptions based on very minute variations in the text. So if someone says hello rather than hey, or if their good morning text is a bit late, or if they take a bit longer to text back than usual, if we're not feeling secure, we can jump to a conclusion about what that means. So the first thing is just remind yourself that it's okay, it's normal, but try and tell yourself, I'm not going to overanalyze this because there's only so much that I can tell from texting, and usually there's so much advice and so many assumptions around it that what I might interpret isn't that helpful. So that's the first thing. The second thing is when we are worrying about someone else and the extent that they're texting us and what that means about how much they like us or how they feel about us or where this relationship is going, that isn't necessarily a confident mindset, because we're putting the fate of this relationship and all of our assumptions and beliefs about us and our dating life and our worth and our value and the connection that we have with this person and where it's going on this relatively small part of a dynamic, in a way that we wouldn't if it was a friendship or a family member or a colleague at work. We wouldn't analyse in the same way. And how I almost picture this or explain it to clients is when we're over-analysing or putting our energy on someone we're texting by trying to analyse them and understand them, or we're worried about a change in the texting pattern or them pulling away or seeming less interested, we are putting our precious energy, of which we only have so much to give to all areas of our life, on this person or something that is outside of us and in this moment out of our control. And you can always visualize that as an energy beam or a string between you and them, and some of your energy passing over to that person. And the problem with that is that it's taking that energy away from you and your life and having the best day possible. It's a draining energy, which is more of a, sad, low energy type feeling that can distract us from other things. And that other person who might just be focusing on their own life will be feeling your energy go towards them. And some people might think that that's woo-woo, some people might feel that that's too spiritual for them. But I'm sure that you've been in a situation where you've been speaking to someone and you've just known that they really like you, or they like you as a friend, or they want to get to know you, or they're interested in you as more than a friend. And you can't necessarily pinpoint exactly what it is or what behaviour, you just have a feeling. And that's what everybody is picking up all the time. So if you're putting lots of energy into understanding them or wondering why they're pulling away or not responding to you, they can feel that. They can feel that your energy is on them. They can pick up on that subconsciously, and that's often a repelling energy. So the more that we worry about someone else rather than ourselves, especially in the early stages of dating, can be a repelling energy, whereby they're even more motivated, they feel even more secure in the connection. So they're even more motivated to just focus on themselves. And often what we see with clients is that they notice a change in behaviour, or they get anxious before any change in behaviour because they've been hurt in the past. The texting seems to change for some reason. They then get more anxious about that. The person pulls away even more, and it continues in a negative cycle. Whereas if you can firstly, when you notice any anxious feelings or overanalyzing feelings or worrying feelings come up, deal with those within yourself first. So take that energy beam, take that piece of string that's connecting you and that person and the energy you're giving to them, pull that back to yourself and give yourself the love or attention or validation that you are looking for in that person in that moment. And ask yourself, what is it that I'm looking for in this person? Why is it that not hearing back from them or a change is bothering me so much? And usually when you ask yourself that question, it comes down to a level of insecurity and some sort of belief that, or lack of belief, or past hurt that is re-emerging. So that is the time to give yourself that love, give yourself the attention and validation that you need in that moment, rather than continue to look to them for that approval. So bring the energy back to you and give yourself what you need in the moment, especially if you feel those anxious feelings rise before there's been any change in behaviour. But still do that if you do notice a change of behaviour, because what we want to avoid is it entering that negative cycle of you put more energy onto them, you're seeking more from them, they pick up on that energy, pull further away, and it continues negatively. We want you to pull that energy back, focus on yourself, give yourself the love that you need, and then return back to that connection when you are feeling safe in your body, secure, calm, centered, and you can return to that conversation in a light, fun, playful way, as you would have been when you first met this person, or with a friend or a colleague that you don't have the same attachment to, or wounds or pain from past romantic experiences that are resurfacing. So that is to pull the energy back to you and give yourself the love that you need. And then return to the connection when you feel calm and centered and can be that playful, fun version of you again. Because if you can remove attachment from them and not need validation from them and stand back in your confidence, that's what's going to allow the connection to keep progressing keep getting to know that person and move towards more of a commitment. The other piece of advice that we would give once you've done that internal piece of work is to always approach texting or any dating situation with the mindset of, one, you are of equal value to whomever you are dating or have a connection with. And secondly, that always approach dating as if you have multiple options, even if you do not. And why do we suggest those two mindsets when approaching an undesirable circumstance such as someone not texting back? Well, what we see with some of our clients and viewers and subscribers is that when they meet someone they really like, they put that person on a pedestal, and without realizing, they start to see that person as above them, and they feel so lucky that this person who is so amazing would be interested in them and want to spend time with them and get to know them. And that can link very closely to feeling insecure or feeling anxiety or feeling attachment or, feeling urgency and wanting to get commitment straight away or progress things straight away. And that can often come from a feeling of not feeling good enough for that person, as we said, or not feeling good enough or worthy for what you deep down want and deserve, which is a loving dating connection, relationship, etc. And therefore, as it approaches that and we risk getting hurt, or it's an unfamiliar situation for us, we get more anxious, or insecure behaviours show up, whether anxious or more avoidant type behaviours, and we accidentally sabotage that connection. So by keeping the mindset of, firstly, bringing ourselves back to calm and centre, giving ourselves the love that we need, but by also reminding ourselves, no, I am of equal value to this person. And we did another video actually called We Are All High Value, because all of us have equal human value and have amazing things that we bring into the world, into dating connections. So we'll link that down below as well. I am of equal value to this person. They are just as lucky to be with me as I am with them or be spending time with them. So just because they've maybe pulled away or seem more distant, I don't need to close that gap. Whatever's going on with them is going on with them. They will figure it out. They know that I'm worthy. They know that I'm good enough. They feel lucky to be with me. I'm not going to chase them down. I might message once more, but I'm not going to, chase down and, bring my self-respect and my self-worth down. And I'm going to let them come back to me. I don't have to do anything. I don't have to meddle. I don't have to try and fix it. I can just be myself, give myself the love I need, and they will come back and apologise and make up or explain what's been going on. Or it might just be they've got a few busy days and it will go back to normal in a couple of days. So remember that you're of equal value, and as we say, act like you have options. So if someone is being hot and cold for an extended period, maybe not explaining why they're doing that, not apologetic for that, or not treating you in a way that you feel is respectful or what you deserve, or frankly what you want, because we all deserve to be happy in dating connections. If it's not making you happy, if a behaviour is not making you happy, put yourself in a scenario of having multiple options, or that option of the perfect relationship that you're after being available to you. Because sometimes we can slip into a scarcity mindset where we're looking at someone, we're dating them, we're enjoying their company, we feel lucky to be dating them. And because we like them and we want it to progress with them, we start to feel like they're the only option, or we really overanalyze their texts because we really want it to move forward in a certain direction. So we forget that there are other people out there who will treat us the way that we want and we deserve, and we don't have to put up with behaviours that don't make us happy. And so by reminding ourselves that we have options, even if they're not immediately present in our reality, or believing that we can have the type of dynamic that we want, suddenly getting sucked into worrying about text messages or whether someone likes us feels much smaller. Whereas when we start to feel anxious about a person or they're not texting us back, it can feel huge because we can feel like we're losing the one thing that we really want. Whereas if we can remind ourselves there's other options out there, and I deserve to get what I want and I'm going to get it, which is a confident mindset, it suddenly makes this feel small, because rather than just having one choice that isn't going how we want, we start to visualize multiple choices, of which there's a 10 out of 10, all the things that we want over here, compared to this 6 or 5 out of 10, and I mean the connection, not the person, over here that's not giving us everything that we want. So why would we continue to put energy over here? So that mindset can really help to detach from that person, bring the energy back to us, as we said, figure out how to respond, whether to show empathy or to message a couple more times, ask if that person's okay, or whether to just retract our energy and focus on us, drop any energy on that and let them come back to us at a time that suits them. And when we bring the energy back onto us, as we've mentioned several times in this video, we can then put that energy into passions that we really enjoy. Whereas when we're dating a lot or dating someone and spending a lot of time with them, naturally we can lose some energy towards our friendships, our family and our hobbies. So see this as a great opportunity to reconnect with yourself, spend some quality time with yourself and enjoy it. And usually what we see, 99 times out of 100, is that when people give the love that they need to themselves, they don't need anything from that person, they bring their energy back and they remind themselves that they are worthy and valuable and of equal value to that person, and that they have options and those options will give them everything they want, whether it's this person or someone else. All of a sudden it changes, and that undesirable texting situation changes itself. And even if it doesn't, just because someone doesn't see your value right now, taking these steps and respecting yourself, valuing yourself, loving yourself, and working on yourself in this way is what gets someone who doesn't necessarily see your value or respect you at this moment to suddenly start valuing you and respecting you in a way that they didn't before. And when we or other coaches say, you teach people how to treat you, this is what we mean. You have to be deliberate about where you put your energy and put your energy into things that are serving you and mirror what you want in your life, and retract your energy consciously from the things that aren't. And you can communicate, it doesn't have to be a manipulative thing, you can explain, or you can just retract your energy, but that's what self-respect and self-worth is about, putting your energy in places that are aligned with what you want and you deserve. And just to give a practical example of where this has happened, I remember I was speaking to one person in particular who had been dating someone for a couple of months. They'd been seeing each other once or twice a week. It was actually an old flame from several years before, and they'd rekindled, and it had been going really well. But on this particular week, this person had a busy week, couldn't text as much, and also was just feeling overwhelmed with things going on in their life. So they said to the person I was speaking to, look, I can't see you this week. I just need to crack through this stuff, and then they'd organised to meet that weekend, and I'd seen them, a week before. And they came to me feeling very stressed, very anxious, scared that they had done something wrong, scared that they were going to lose the connection, scared that it was going to fall apart. And I reminded them, look, you and that person are equal. You're good enough for that person. And they've communicated with you that they need some space and some time. You've got plans this weekend. So I know it's difficult, but what I would suggest is see this as an opportunity to reconnect with yourself, pursue your passions, pursue your hobbies, get really busy this week, see some friends, see some family, pick up some hobbies you've been neglecting, fill your diary, fill your own cup with the things that you love, and then assume the best. Assume that giving this person this space that they've asked for will help them feel closer to you, because you're honouring what they need and you're showing that you can give that to them, that you trust them and you trust the connection. So that's what they did. For the next 5-6 days, they just focused on themselves, felt better about it, did the things that made them happy. Come the weekend, apparently they ran into each other's arms when they were reunited, and that's when they decided to be official and become boyfriend girlfriend, and they've now been together coming up to a year. So that's a very practical example of where we've used this technique, or other people have used this technique and the outcome it's had for them. So hopefully that was helpful. Give it a go. Let us know how it goes in the comment box below, or if you've had any similar experiences or tips and tricks that you want to share those down below, and that will enter you into the giveaway as well, because all you have to do to enter is subscribe to this channel and leave a comment about some tips or tricks or a question to help other people build their confidence, so that we can start to build a movement around it. Thank you for liking, sharing, commenting and subscribing, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks, bye.